Hey guys, Toby Morrison here. Today's video is all about doing things bit by bit. Now, I say this for two reasons, because lately I've seen an increasing amount of emails come to me of people being super overwhelmed and I guess feel like giving up because the goal, the task is too big. And the other thing is that most success stories that we see, we only perceive them as an overnight success story since when we met them or saw them overcome this amazing obstacle or reach a certain destination in their life. And we go, wow, how did they even do that? And we start to ask the wrong questions like, how can that person do that? Like, that's just impossible. Like, something special must have happened with that person. Yet we actually don't see the years and years and years of dedication that those people do things bit by bit to get there. And this is what it's all about. Like, if you want to do something, it's like eating breakfast. Like, you do it bit by bit. You don't just get the cereal and and down into the amount. I mean, how's the echoes in here? It's pretty. This room's kind of empty, so there might be a bit of echoing, and there's my shadow right there as well. That's a bit ironic. So you don't just like crack the egg open and put it in your mouth, unless you eat raw eggs, which some people do. That's cool, but this is what I'm saying. You do breakfast bit by bit. You do things bit by bit. When you tie your shoelaces up, you get the two ends first before you actually tie your shoelaces up. When we have a shower, we don't just jump in the shower with our clothes on, do we? We take our clothes off, unless you shower with your clothes on. That would be a little bit silly. This video is going to turn into a comedy festival. So do things bit by bit. And the cool thing is that, sometimes when you have a less overwhelming goal and a less overwhelming task, you usually do it a little bit easier, and it makes it a little bit more simple to actually do what you have to do what's required. And sometimes doing things bit by bit is actually easier, it's less overwhelming, it creates less panic, it creates less drama, and it creates less of an illusion of what you actually have to do to get what you want. Alright? So, if you've got something in your life that you want to achieve, what are the little bit by bits you have to do to get there? We have these grand visions, but we don't actually have the little bit by bits to actually get there, or we forget to do them. And we have this massive grand vision, but we forget to do the bit by bits, and then we give up. So what I'm saying to you is stop aiming way too high and making all these ridiculous illusions that, people out there, got lucky, and realize that everyone who got to where they're at, in terms of whatever you perceive as successful, they did it bit by bit. Unless you won lottery, or unless you, this is the thing, there is no quick fix, there is no quick pill, there is no, take it once and you feel 100% better. Life is great all the time. And if anyone's trying to sell you that, then, punch them in the face, because it's just wrong, it's not true. Instead, I want to give you this practical advice today, is just chunk it down, just do little bits by bits, It can be, depending on where you're at, it could be as simple as, making sure you go to bed at a certain time every night. It could be, making sure you do a certain set of exercises for you, for where you're at right now with your movement. For someone, it might be brushing their teeth every single night. I know I need to do that a little bit more. I need to be a bit more regular. Maybe brushing their hair a bit more. I know my hair's growing and it's a little bit too long. You see? So what's your bit by bit? What do you need to do every single day that you can achieve? And sometimes you need to be less strict about your bit by bit. Maybe you just need to walk in and say, no, I don't really feel like it today, but maybe I'll just do it a little bit later. And you might find you get to a period of time in that day where you go, actually, yeah, let me just do 5 minutes of this. Let me do 1 minute of this. And as you step into it, you actually do it and you enjoy it and you feel better for it. So all I'm saying today is chunk it down, just do bit by bit. It makes life so much easier, and it makes you able to do more over a longer period of time, rather than go from 0 to hero overnight, which is never going to happen anyway. If you try that, you're going to have a million setbacks and a million reasons to stop, because it's going to be all too hard and all too overwhelming. So my suggestion is just do bit by bit. Whatever that is for you, you know the answers inside you. You're the only one that knows you and what you really, really need. You need to find the answers within. But just don't set unrealistic goals attached to them. Have your grand vision, have your big plan, that's all great, you know, and that's all well and good, but actually have the little bit by bits that you need to do every single day to feel better. I mean, for me, one of the things that I want to do is have you know, peace of mind. I think we're all reaching that. I think we're all in this, you know, the age where we want to feel calm. And so before I just did a workout in the backyard, and I was just lying there after my workout, I was cooling down, and I picked up my Tai Chi stick and I started doing some breathing. I didn't want to do it. You know, it's boring for me. I don't like I don't like sitting still, right? So the only way I could do it was to pick it up and just try a little bit. I didn't set a time. I didn't go, I'm going to do this for 20 minutes. I'm going to do it for 5 minutes. I just did it. And I breathed. And I kept going. And I kept doing bit by bit. And then eventually, I was like, oh, I didn't even think about it. I didn't think I was doing it. I was just doing it. I didn't have to think about it. I was just moving and feeling good and relaxing and coming down my body. So again, that was another instance where a bit by bit approach really helps me do it. Now, I might not do it every day, but if I'm doing it bit by bit, I'm going to be more likely to be consistent with it rather than go gung-ho for 2 weeks and then, you know, I'll never see the stick again, and I'll probably stop my breathing exercises forever because I'll get sick of it. Instead, do things bit by bit. It's a lot easier. Your body and your life will thank you for it. Hope that helps. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's heaps of videos every week. I do something random, something like this. It's my job to share practical, helpful life tips to you that hopefully serve your life better. And just remember, just do bit by bit. Your life will be a lot more simple, less complicated, and hopefully a lot more calmer. Hope that helps. All the best.